Dodgers are your world champions. Welcome to a World Series post show brought to you by Brian H. Waters live on Haps News. The Dodgers have finally done it, folks. Those who know me know that I've been rooting for this team to win it. Hey, Drew, what's going on? Drew coming in from LA. How you feeling? Let's go. Let's go. Drew, I'm happy for y'all. Everybody who knows me knows that, the Orioles obviously haven't been in a position to compete for since 2016. And I've been rooting for the Dodgers. I've been a Clayton Kershaw fan since pretty much, since he was arrived. And it's just something about the way he pitches. I really enjoyed his game. So I've been rooting for him. To finally see him get it done makes me super happy. Well deserved, man. Well deserved. This guy has been, criticized. Always talking about Kershaw can't win the big one. Kershaw can't win the big one. Everybody had to say, and you know what? For those out there watching, I got to show y'all this clip because this right here just says it all. You just see it. Winning officially. He's a champion. There's nothing you can say about it. There's nothing you can say about this man. He's done it all. I've watched him pitch no hitters. He had one game where he was almost a perfect game, and his defenseman messed up the play. That close. I'll never forget it. And I remember I was getting ready to go to bed, just got in from work, and I was like, okay, Kershaw's pitching. And he was wheeling and dealing. And when you get close to a perfect game, you want to just see it. And boom, he lost the perfect game. It was unfortunate. But, just somebody who's fun to watch. And then let me get personal, right? This year, during the racial pandemic that we're still in, that we never left, to be honest with you, you went out there and say, I can't be silent. Not when my black brothers are hurting. Not when my black brothers are hurting. So Clayton Kershaw going out there tonight, just getting it done, he didn't go out there tonight, but, him going out there, being a part of this team, getting his, I gotta run that clip again, man, because this right here just shows all, just looks up to the heavens, just points his hands up to the heavens, and is thankful as he is now a world champion. Shout out to the Dodgers. Dodger Blue reigns supreme. Shout out to Los Angeles. No, I'm not from there, but I always liked the Dodgers since Mike Piazza. Not gonna say I was always a big fan, right? But lately in the 2010s, I was a fan of this team. Just the way they play, so exciting, And then when you play MLB The Show, they're just fun to watch. Off-brand DJ Academics, how are you funny? But when I sat there and just watching this team over the course of time, it just made me like him. Like I said, I was a huge fan of Mike Piazza back in the day when he was with the Dodgers. That was around the time I first got introduced to baseball. But now this team finally gets it done. And then getting Mookie Betts. Let's run that clip. I think this is the Mookie Betts home run. Just the insurance run, because that's what it was. And if you're Boston, now let me just say, as an Oriole fan, I spent so much time and energy not liking this guy. I was at a game where he hit multiple home runs. It was just like, oh my goodness, here comes Mookie again. And when I saw that he signed with the Dodgers 12 years, I was super happy. Why? Because one, he was out of the American League East, but also because he was with the Dodgers. And I knew he was one of the pieces to get him over the hump. Now, I was rooting for them when they had Manny Machado, even though a lot of people in Baltimore don't like Manny. I still got love for him. But to me, the Dodgers had to get it done this year. And I look at it, you got a team like the San Diego Padres who are coming. They are coming, folks. But the Dodgers knew that. And, it's kind of like finally getting that monkey off their back. Because you go back to the World Series and it was like, okay, here we go again. The first time was cool. You remember when they couldn't get past St. Louis or they couldn't get past the Giants? They would win the division. 8 straight division titles, I believe. They would win the division, but the Giants would win the World Series. kind of messes that, right? Giant, but now they finally reign supreme. But you can't talk about Game 6 if you don't talk about the unthinkable. The unthinkable. Today, everybody's going to know who Kevin Cash is because he took out Blake Snell. He took out Blake Snell, folks. Snell was wheeling and dealing, styling and profiling. Every Dodger up, Dodger down, Dodger up, Dodger down. They only had one hit. One hit. And then they finally break through and get another hit. And here comes the manager. And I'm sitting here just watching the game. Like I said, rooting for the Dodgers. Shout out Lakers are whack. You're wrong. Lakers are champs too. So are the Dodgers. But I'm sitting there watching the game. And I said, you know what? Man, come on. They got to get a way to get him out of there. You know, that was my whole thought. They got to get him out of there, right? And they finally did it. They finally did it. Prince Amiali, forgive me for pronouncing your name wrong. We repeating. I called it. We got Price, Bueller, Kershaw, and Urias. Hey, go for it. You know, I don't think my Orioles are ready to compete, so I'll go for it. LA, a double champion. Go Dodgers, go Lakers. Yeah, it's like 1988 all over again. When the Lakers and the Dodgers won the championships. But yeah, they're certainly champions of the world. But like I'm saying, Snell, I mean, I don't get it. I just don't get it. He didn't even have 100 pitches. He didn't. He wasn't at 100 pitches yet. And you took him out of the game. And that's why he's making that face. Like, come on. You know, and I go back to, you know, I started thinking historic, right? And I'm thinking back to the 2001 Game 7 World Series, Diamondbacks. That's another team who's won it in their division. The Dodgers have won it since. But the Diamondbacks and the Yankees. And there was Curt Schilling. He gives up a home run to Alfonso Soriano. In the, I think it was like the 6th or 7th, maybe 7th or 8th. But he gives up a home run to Soriano. And then all of a sudden, the manager, Bob Brenly, says, that's not going to beat us. That's not going to beat us. Appreciate it, Sock Monkey Mike. Thank you for joining, and congratulations to the Dodgers. But as he said, that wasn't going to beat him. You know, the Diamondbacks would put together some runs. They would put Randy Johnson back in the game because y'all remember 2001 World Series, Bung Young Kim was scrubbing it up, gave up a couple winning home runs to Derek Jeter and Soriano. Matter of fact, that's when Derek Jeter became Mr. November. And then all of a sudden, the Diamondbacks win the ninth. And I was wondering, I said, I wonder if Cash is telling Snell that's not going to beat them. I really was. I was like, is he telling them that? I wonder, is he telling them that's not going to beat him? You know, let's see. Maverick. Yeah. So I asked this question. What do y'all think about analytics now? What about your analytics now? And the W34 Punks on Twitter says, you think if they don't pull Snell there, things go differently? I don't know either way. Asking for your opinion. Let me let him know. Join me on Haps. I am discussing that point right now. Yeah, you know, shout out to Mark Goldman checking in. What up, Mark? The Dodgers are world champions. But I do wonder, analytics. Do you really believe in analytics? Because, okay, I don't know what the numbers say. I know they pay guys millions or thousands of dollars, hundreds of thousands of dollars to really break this down. But when you got a guy who's dealing, you're going to get that reaction. You're going to get that reaction when he knows he's playing and he's pitching well. And all of a sudden, you want to sit there and pull him from the game after one hit. One hit. And here was another thing. The next three batters, I think 2 or 3, if not all of them, had 2 strikeouts. They had 2 strikeouts in the game. So they said, and he said, look, it's a fair question. Mookie Betts was coming back up, and he respected him. But you live with that. If this guy is dealing, you cannot keep thinking about the analytics. And that's where I wonder. It's just ridiculous to me. I don't get it. I really don't. 32 years. 32 years. And who would have thought the Lakers and the Dodgers? Now, those were my picks, to be honest with you. I actually had the Dodgers over the White Sox, but that's a different story. But I had the Dodgers winning it this year. But guess what? To be honest with you, I've had the Dodgers winning it for the past 4 years. But I finally got it right. And Joe Buck said on one of the broadcasts when I was reading the tweets, he simply said, Kershaw, the Astros cheated, and Kershaw was a victim of it. And just think about that. This guy, when you look at this class of pitchers since 2010, right? My mind goes out and I think about Adam Wainwright, Max Scherzer. No, ain't no asterisk, Renegade Falcon 45. You can put the asterisk around the Astros, maybe, but not around this one. But Adam Wainwright, Max Scherzer, David Price, Steve Strasburg, Zach Greinke, Garrett Cole, Justin Verlander, and all of these guys, world champion pitchers. Oh, and how can I forget one of the most fascinating pitchers of this time in the playoffs, Madison Bumgarner. All these guys were world champions. And dare say, in my opinion, Clayton Kershaw's better than all of them. Some people may disagree. And exactly. After 5 years, Dave Roberts has finally learned to ride the hot hand in the playoffs. Screw the analytics that coming in from Mark. You're right. But Clayton Kershaw's better than all of those guys. I don't care what anybody say. He's better than all of them. Let me turn this down. And, I got to give a shout out to my boy Sharp. Huge fan. And he says, we are the champions. He's singing the song. He was like, he was 7 when the Dodgers won it last. They hit the panic switch too soon. Anyone who was Astros need to shut their pothole. Shout out to my man Ron Carthen watching. Appreciate you, Ron. But 5 years, he rode the high hand. He did what he was supposed to do. Yeah, I went to sleep the other night because I had to get up early. So I missed game 4. But when I saw what happened, I was like, ooh, to be honest with y'all, let's be real. This World Series could have been a sweep. The Dodgers, and what I mean is the Dodgers didn't like really stink during the World Series. I said game 2 when they lost, the way it was going, I said, they're kind of like towing the line with this one. They're kind of like playing it safe. It felt as if they were kind of like allowing pitchers to rest. I don't know. I could be wrong. But it felt like they were letting pitchers rest. But then all of a sudden, they turned up in game 3, but then game 4 happens. I was like, ooh, they had it in their hand. And, couple of errors. You live with it, but they didn't let that defeat them. They went out there, they proved like they've been, on paper, they've been the best team. 100-win seasons. They've been the best team. And this time they went out there and proved it. Maybe this format helped. Maybe they needed those extra games. Oh, Milo the Great, I'm sorry. I'm sorry you don't like the Dodgers. But, you're entitled. So, it's great to see them as world champions. Celebrate Los Angeles. It's been a rough year. It's been a rough couple of years. You think about, got dust in my hand. Ain't nobody tell me. All right. But you think, how about we do this? We'll throw the hat on. But you think about, and I've had the hat a while, but you think about losing Nipsey Hussle and what he meant to the community almost 2 years ago. And then obviously this year losing Kobe. And then I thought about something as I was talking to, who was I talking to the other day? But I thought about something. this year, right? This year, we lost a legend, Chadwick Boseman. Chadwick Boseman. He played Jackie Robinson, and we all know Jackie Robinson, the first black baseball player in Major League Baseball, played for the Brooklyn Dodgers, and then he would, move with the team to Los Angeles. But we lose him. He was our hero. And now, it's all in the same year. So, I mean, obviously those, a championship doesn't heal, but it helps you, So it says, yeah, respect to them. This year wasn't an easy one for any one player. It wasn't. It wasn't an easy one for anybody, And then we gotta go ahead and celebrate. You earned it. You waited so long, and it's awesome. I appreciate it, Mark. Tuning in, and I just think like this moment, and I was prepping the show, but I said I just want to take this in. These last few pitches, I want to take this in because when you wait for a team to win, you can't. You just can't wait for it to happen. You wait for a team to win. It's like, man, this is finally happening. And I'm gonna be honest with y'all. It as somebody who loves baseball, so I've said this before. Love baseball. None of the Orioles have never won. I've never got this feeling. But there are just some World Series, if that's not a word. There's some World Series that just makes me happy. I think the first time I really celebrated was when those Marlins beat the Indians in 1997 because the Indians had beat my Orioles. And to see Edgar Renteria up the middle to win the game, I think it was Renteria, Council scored, whatever. So that was the first one. Then the next one, watching the Diamondbacks take down the Yankees. And then I haven't had this feeling, really. Last year was fun because I saw the Nationals and they beat the Astros. But to see the Nationals go out there and win it, and they're down the street, I don't hate the Nationals. Obviously, I root for the Orioles to beat them because I got a lot of friends from the area. But I was really happy for my friends who were Nationals fans. And then the Cubs, because that's history. To see the history that was made there, And so that's the times when I really enjoy the World Series. But tonight, I have to say, this was better than all of them because Dodgers, my National League team. They're my National League team, and this was better than all of them. And to see my favorite pitcher in the game go out there, probably my favorite player. I haven't really locked in on who's like my favorite offensive player. I like a lot of people, Manny Machado, Fernando Tatis Jr., Mookie Betts, Justin Turner. It's a lot of players I like. I love the game. But like Kershaw is like my guy. And to see him finally get that World Series ring, man, just amazing. Just amazing. Mark, how you feeling? I know, it's kind of settling in. How you feeling? You're a champion twice, 2 times, back to back, and within 2 weeks. Let me know how y'all feeling about this right now, especially Dodger Nation. Magic Johnson being on another championship team. It says, bro, I've been a fan since 2. Love this team. Wandering 604. Shout out to you. Congratulations. Definitely congratulations. Been a fan since since game 2. Love this team. Oh, all right. Yeah, I feel incredible, dude. Yeah, you should. I'm happy for you. I am so happy for the Dodgers. And like I said, to be the victims of somebody who just cheated and disrespected the integrity of the game. And shout out to my boy Ryan Cole texting me. Ryan and I work together. He's now with the Athletic. And I know he born and breathes LA. just I mean, I just couldn't be happier for Dodgers Nation right now. I know, like the feeling I had a couple weeks ago was obviously different. Shout out to the Lakers winning number 17, but Dodgers getting number 7. I mean, and like you said, just so thrilled for Kershaw. Only thing could have made it better if he would have been on the mound, been on a bump for the last out where he could have, but it's still he deserved it. Being in the dugout, it says, man, you disrespect me, son. But just being able to be out there and just, but I'm wondering what in the world's going to happen with Kevin Cash. As somebody who's, I got to show that again. This says it all. And I wonder what the management thinks. It's some things that somebody even tweeted fireable offense. And I know managing is different. At least LA sports won't get the Super Bowl. Why? What's the hate? But management was. I wonder what they would think. You put a manager in place. You trust he's going to make the right decisions, right? But I don't know. Maybe I don't know. Who do you blame here? I really don't. I just don't understand it. And it's even trending. Worst decision. So, and when you, like I said, I'm watching the game, right? Is I feel for Cash. He seems like a good dude. And he absolutely did a great job this year. I'll take you back. I'm watching the game. I'm sitting down. And I'm like, all right, come on, y'all. And then, when you just, like, when you watch baseball, when somebody just got this stuff tonight. And I was like, man, Snell on his good stuff, untouchable. Even almost untouchable. And then they were, fishing. I said, all right, the way they're going to have to get to him is just run that pitch count up. That's what I was thinking, run the pitch count up. Then all of a sudden, boom, they get a hit. I said, all right, let's go. Come on, let's hopefully get some momentum. Then I see Kevin Cash coming out. I said, he ain't about to take him out. He took him out. I was like, wait, it's only one inning. That was only one hit that he just gave up, meaning his second hit. You would have thought they was running bases loaded. And he took him out, man. He really took him out of the game. I couldn't believe it. But hey, the Dodgers said, look, we're going to take advantage of this right now. And that's exactly what they did. And because of that, they are world champions. Now, we got to talk about this. How in the blue hell does Justin Turner test positive, or they find a positive test and he comes out of the game? I'm not putting the asterisk next to the World Series. They had to play the games. It's still baseball. Are you putting an asterisk next to the Braves championship in 95? I'm not putting an asterisk. But, I wonder, like, how does that happen? Justin Turner tests positive. They realize he tests positive. They take him out of the game. And God was this close to hitting a home run. And it's scary. I know working in sports, I have to get the test that morning. And then I have to sit. Or I have to get a test 2 days before. All depends, And when I get the test, I have to... I'll take this off now. When I get my test, when it was 2 days before, I wait for the email. Okay, cool. You go to work, do the temperature checks, all that. So how does this happen? That's what I'm not understanding. And it's so sad, all he's been through and what he's meant to the team this year. And you know what? And let's take all that aside, right? And let's take away whether it's mishandled or not. I'll say this. I pray my prayers out for him. I hope he, overcomes it. We don't know. This is still new, so we don't know what could happen. We don't know what type of damage the virus could do to his lungs. So, and I feel bad for him because all, his contributions, he couldn't celebrate with the team. You wait all your life for this. He can't celebrate. But that just means they go win it again. So he can celebrate because he's going to beat this. So, do you feel MLB is sexist for not allowing females in the league? We are in 2020 equality. Me too. Women for not allowing women in the league. Let's not refer to. Let's not use the word females as a noun. We don't say that about males. So adjective is fine, but no. I don't know. I'm not answering that question. Like, sorry, that's a different topic. But yeah, I feel for Justin Turner, and like I said, my heart and prayers go out to him. As you know, he is a world champion tonight. So congratulations to the Los Angeles Dodgers. It took 32 years, but the title is back in Titletown, back in Los Angeles. I've seen the Los Angeles Kings win the championship. When they won the Stanley Cup, that was fun. And I was rooting for him because when I first started like watching or first heard about hockey, to be honest with you, Wayne Gretzky was the man and he was with the Kings. But at that time, I think usually around I would just pick a team or whatever, and I would usually pick them. But watching him, and I remember with my boy Shark, kind of celebrating virtually. We was texting on Facebook. So watch him score, I was, happy when they won it, and it was an exciting time. And then obviously I've seen 6 Lakers championships. I was born in 86, but I don't remember the 87, 88 championship. So as a Laker fan, I claim 6. I got 6 rings as a fan. But now to see the Dodgers, I always felt like, listen to people talk about LA versus New York. I think I would rock more with LA than New York. Like New York, a little too fast, cocky, annoying, arrogant, whatever. So LA, I've heard, is chill and it's a vibe. So I got to get out there. Definitely got to get out there soon. But folks, that'll do it as the Los Angeles Dodgers have finally done it. They overcame. Shout out to Dave Roberts, black man, a manager. He is a world champion. First one since Cito Gaskin, I believe. Dusty Baker has come close, and we know, unfortunately, he hasn't won the big one, but maybe one day. I really didn't like him taking the Astros job because I don't see myself rooting for the Astros no time soon. I'm just keeping it real. But, we get ready. Somebody says 100 some odd days until pitchers and catchers report. But just what a season. They was able to eventually get it done. So congratulations to Major League Baseball. There's no All-Star game, no home run derby. So that was a little disappointing. I love those things. My Orioles, shout out to them. They existed. They didn't end up in last place. The Red Sox did, and that's always a plus. But congratulations to the Tampa Bay Rays. They were so close. They fought hard, and they didn't give up. They were up. What was they up 3-0? And they could have easily folded. We could have had the World Series rematch. Probably the rematch, honestly, a lot of people would have loved to see, and probably would have got a little, I ain't gonna say brutal, but who knows? Growing up sucks. It used to be about Keenan and Kel. Now it's about Corny and Kale. Mm-hmm. But I look at that, and then I look at the the Dodgers. They were down 3-1. Braves blew a 3-1 lead. And then the Dodgers, for the first time in these 3 years, took a 2-1 lead in the World Series, then had a 3-2 lead, and they didn't let it go to Game 7. Although you could argue, if you're a Rays fan, you could argue that possibly you would be facing Game 7. And then, I can share your pain. As my team, I'm a victim of the manager making the wrong decision when Buck Showalter didn't put in Zach Britton. He went all the way into, and I understood it. But then after a while, I'm like, there he is. There's Pablo. I'm going to see if Pablo want to join in. I know he might be. I know he's fresh on celebrations. So we talked about this. And he said yes. Yeah, we talked about this a few when the Dodgers went ahead and became the National League champions. He's back home. Of course, I had to hop on Pablo's live and watch. I appreciated that because he gave me the what it would have, kind of what it felt like. I was able to see live what the vibe of Los Angeles was. So I'm gonna see if he want to join in and bring the celebration right here. And put my headphones on as he's getting ready to come on in. What up?
Yo, what's up, man?
Congratulations, man.
Thank you.
So happy for you. Like I rocked my hat a couple of times.
I saw that, yeah.
But how you feeling, man? Fresh, you celebrated the national championship, but you said it's still work to be done. You knew that, you've been there before, but now finally over the hump. I got Kershaw as a champion.
We thought we'd never see the day, huh?
I know, right?
Yeah, it's truly it's amazing to experience this. Really great to be able to go straight to such a historic part of our neighborhood here in East LA and celebrate with some people. But it was getting a little rowdy, so I just decided to come back home and I hopefully enjoy the night. I got my drink for the night here, celebrating.
Oh, nice.
Cheers to everyone else at home celebrating being safe. But yeah, it's surreal. I was so worried the moment they pulled Turner out of the game, and then to find out later that it was because he tested positive for COVID-19. Really bummed out for him. He deserves to be out there celebrating with all the guys. And especially after everything that he did for the team, and not only for that, but for the league. He was such a key player in allowing families to be in the bubble. And creating a safe space for everyone to make sure that they can be with their families. So a bummer for him, but he's definitely going to be a leader of this team for the next, couple of years if we get him back, because I know his contract is coming up.
Yeah. And you know how it is. You get your ring, so now it's time to get the money.
Yeah. I hope the Dodgers have enough left, because that Mookie Betts deal is huge, right?
Yeah, I'm sure Magic can pull some strings. Maybe he can borrow some from Jeannie.
I'm sure they'll figure it out.
Yeah, but when you think about, man, all right, I got to ask you, during the game, you watching Snell, and I mean, he was on his best, tonight, and he's just dealing. The moment you saw Kevin Cash, what was your thoughts?
I was surprised.
Mm-hmm.
That was the most Dave Roberts decision I've ever seen, and I've seen Dave Roberts make those decisions. To pull your best pitcher because he gets one guy on base is just ridiculous. It's ridiculous to me. But thank you, because I was just watching the end of Seager's interviews, and he said it himself. As soon as he got pulled out of the game, the lights turned on. We were able to bring some runs in, and we won the game that way. So, yeah.
Yeah, I told people I was sitting here, and I was just, I was doing some stuff on the computer. I'm just watching. I was like, all right, he's on tonight. So hopefully they can run up the pitch count. Maybe just take a couple balls, and run up the pitch count, because we know pitch count and analytics is everything. And then they'll, I said it'll probably be a turnaround in the 7th or 8th. It was Mike Patton said, I certainly didn't understand pulling the pitcher from Tampa Bay. And when he came out, that's when I got, okay, let's go. Here we go. And immediately they jumped on it. And I looked at, they showed that, I think, you had Betts and Turner coming up. Both of them had 2 strikeouts at the time. I think even a third person who was due up had 2 strikeouts. So I was like, he was getting these guys out. It's not like, and some of it, I was like, all right, y'all need to slow down, stop being anxious, But
yeah, they were swinging it. I was worried. I'm not going to lie. I was very worried watching him strike everyone out one at a time. And no one was waiting. No one was holding on some of those balls. No one was getting foul balls to keep batters alive and make them throw pitches. It seemed like they just didn't care to get struck out for the rest of the night, which is really irritating and frustrating to watch. But all it took was getting one guy on, and what inning was it? The 6th inning, and game over.
And as Arena, I mean, it seemed like this whole World Series, somebody was scoring in the first inning. It wasn't like, it'd take a while, but it's like, man, he hits a home run. And you sitting there watching like, oh boy. And that was all they got. And I saw something earlier. I guess it was a scout. They were saying, or they probably put together the rankings, said they're not going to rank him like the number one prospect because he's eligible to be a rookie next year. And the host was saying, why not? He should be the number one prospect. He's been, he set the record for most home runs in the postseason, I believe World Series as well. So why not? And it felt like, I was like, yeah, he was earning his respect. And it got to the point, I was like, okay, this is the guy you got to worry about. This is the one. And, I wouldn't be surprised to see him in Dodger blue maybe in 4 or 5 years.
I mean, I'm just looking at Mike's comment. How many Dodgers fans are taking out loans to keep that team together? It is. I want to see a Last Dance type documentary about this Dodgers team in the past 4 or 5 years that they've been together. I hope they've been filming. I hope that there's enough archives and they can
somebody got cell phone video or something.
Yeah. I can only imagine the amount of drama that they've been through together, the amount of bouncing back, the inner conversations that they've had in the back end, and with COVID this year being such a big story and figuring out how to start the season, I'm sure that there's going to be a lot going on, and it's just really exciting.
And I go back to just thinking about the early 2010s when Kershaw was making a name for himself, but not being able to get past the Cardinals, or the Dodgers winning the division, but the Giants being right there, and it just seemed like they just couldn't get over the hump. And then it was like when he finally got to the World Series, they finally get there, they run into the Cheatstros, and even Joe Buck said Kershaw was a victim.
Yeah.
And I think about Wainwright, Scherzer, Cole, Greinke, Mad Bum, all of these pitchers, Strasburg in there too. Yeah. And to me, Kershaw is better than all of them. He's better than all of them. And now he finally gets his ring.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, and think about the players that were there: Andre Ethier, Matt Kemp, Yasiel Puig. Players that deserved it. They deserved that win as well. And now it seems like it's a whole new team, but it still seems like it's the same team. The players that have been brought in have really kept the culture and the vibes of that Dodger team that went up against the Astros over the past couple of years. And Mookie Betts was that addition that I think was desperately needed. In the outfield for that energy. Bellinger turning on the bats in the postseason for once, even a little bit, and then all of the great plays that between him and Mookie Betts out in the outfield, it seems like it was impossible to hit anything in that center right side. So,
yeah, were you surprised about Seager winning MVP?
Not at all. No, okay. When I was live in the car, I kept asking people who won MVP. Was it Seager? Because that's who I was expecting to win. Honestly, I would have loved for it to be of Kershaw, right? But
yeah,
I think Seager just was the difference maker in this series and definitely deserved that for himself.
Yeah, he definitely did.
Banana Boy saying he's disappointed in the Braves. Yeah, I would be too if I were a Braves fan.
Yeah, I mean, there's. Go ahead.
Just like if the Rays had blown a 3-0 lead, that would have been very disappointing.
There's always a saying you got to go through heartbreak before you go through your big win. And, we saw it with the Braves. We saw it with the Rays. The Astros obviously cheated, but, they had their heartbreak a couple years prior when I believe they had like a lead over the Royals that they blew. So, but now to see the Dodgers, it just like, you think of, like I always tell people who don't understand baseball, I said, when you think about Kershaw, think about Peyton Manning, where in the regular season, one of, if not the best, and then just something gets in the way or something happens. And, this year, he went out there and did his thing.
Yeah. I couldn't be more relieved and proud of a player at the same time to see him have the postseason that he finally had. But Urias is just a monster on the
Mm-hmm.
mound. He didn't have a single bad game, a single bad inning
Right.
this whole time. I would say that he would be next up for MVP, even though he started one, relieved a second, but he's just been on top form this whole postseason, and it's been very clear that he's been on a mission. And to see a guy from Mexico win a World Series with the Dodgers, the best team in baseball, is really something.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Absolutely. But I'm about to get out of here, man. Go celebrate. I appreciate you jumping on, man. I'm like I said, I'm really happy for you.
Thanks, man.
Congratulations, y'all deserve it. Celebrate. Thank you guys for taking Mookie out of the AL East. Thank you for giving him the bag. You know,
You're very welcome.
I witnessed those days where he was just crushing here in Baltimore. Like if y'all come to Camden Yards, look out because he just loves that stadium. I've seen him hit 3 home runs in a single game. So I was happy to see, and especially to see the Red Sox at the bottom. And I can just imagine Red Sox fans tonight are sick.
Yeah,
They are
yeah. I
so
mean,
sick.
you gave up your best player because you wanted to be a little cheap. So
Mm-hmm. And they did it with John Lester too, and then he goes and wins the World Series. So,
sorry.
but ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining this World Series post show. To the Dodgers fans, celebrate and celebrate all week long. Matter of fact, celebrate the whole month. Celebrate till Christmas. Buy stuff. You'll make the money back. Buy all the World
We'll
Series
have to buy
gear.
our players back. We're gonna have to create a pot, as Mike said, and then just have every citizen of Los Angeles pitch in to make sure that the players stay on the team.
Look, just as you put partner with LeBron and tell him and AD, say, look, let's work together. That way we can all win championships for years and years to come.
Yes.
And with the LeBron, you do this, we'll help you, and LeBron can get 7 and the Dodgers can get 3 more, it'd be great.
Yeah. Yeah. Hopefully, we'll see a Clippers one in there too, but we'll talk about that another time.
No, they not real LA as far as what I heard, I'm saying like I'm from there, it's a Laker town.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
don't know if you
Yeah.
saw this real quick. Osea Jackson Jr., Ice Cube's son, he posted a tweet about how he used to like show love to the Clippers. He was obviously a diehard Laker fan, but he said, he showed them love in like 2009 or 2011. And somebody like found the tweet for him. He said, thank you. He said, I tried to tell people I used to show them love just because they were a Los Angeles team. It wasn't until they brought in the C word, Doc Rivers. And that's what made, he's like, how can you bring somebody from the Celtics in to manage the team?
He's gone. It's fine. He's gone.
So, but all right, man. Thanks, man. Appreciate it.
Likewise.
All right. Y'all take care.